I remember when I trained with you that there was a stunt class, and pivoting to that topic, for those who don't know, you're a stunt man and have starred in shows like Stranger Things, Walking Dead, Cobra Kai. I'm sure there's plenty more that you could talk about, but I'm curious how you got to start in the stunt world and how you got exposed to that.
Yeah, the running joke is I fell into it, right? I had a really high level coordinator who happened to stumble into the gym, and he was looking for some judo coaching before starting a film franchise that we all now know as John Wick. Um, and so, like, I was working with those guys, the 8711 guys, for probably about 18 months while they were working on Hunger Games sequels, and from there, kind of caught the bug. It was kind of this perfect amalgamation of my background. My job at the time was working in special events, so I did lighting and AV for like special events. So I had a bit of rigging knowledge, and then from judo, got the martial arts background a little bit, and certainly the falling skills. And so yeah, it just kind of went from there. Once I kind of got in front of the camera and felt I did one show as an extra, but the first time I kind of had a camera just over my shoulder, and you get that, like, the heart starts beating. It's like, ooh, this is a little taste of what I felt for competition, And
Yeah.
now, especially doing a fight sequence, or we've got to crash through something, or I've got a bunch of lines to me and I'm going to crash. I got four of my best friends. They're going to hop off a ladder and pull, and then I go flying, or you're on a ratchet and they press a button and it's a pneumatic system that sends you flying into something. Um, it gets a little taste of that feeling. Like I felt it again when I did the veterans tournament of, like, oh yeah, like that competition rush.
How long ago was it that you started doing stunts?
I got my STAG card 11 years ago.
Okay. Okay. And then how exactly do you perfect your craft or get better at doing stunts? Like, what does that process look like?
Yeah. These days, I do a lot more. I mean, I still perform, certainly. It's rehearsing whatever that fight is. We rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse it until, not until you get it right, but till you can't get it wrong, basically. And then on the last minute, the director changes almost everything. So you got to stay on your toes. But it's rehearsing and it's practicing, and it's, you know, um, these days, like I said, I do a lot more rigging. So it's also practicing and constantly kind of figuring out, okay, what new skills can I learn to add in? There's so many. Uh, I had some good advice early on, and it was like, don't try to catch up to everybody, because it's intimidating when, like, oh, this guy's an encyclopedia. Not only can he do some judo, but he can do silat, and he can do taekwondo type kicks, and he can do, like, box, like really American boxing. There's so many different skills. Like, then you get into driving, and then you get into firework, and then you get into high falls and then wire work, and there's so many skills that you can pick up. It can be really daunting in the beginning. Like, it's really exciting because, like, oh, I'm going to go to a gymnastics gym and train backflips, or I'm going to go, train Kali today. It's really fun and so enticing to try to pick up all of the skills. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to, you need to expand, but also kind of stick with what got you there. And I already had, like, a rigging background kind of coming into it. Show rigging is very different. Like, show rigging is static, whereas, set rigging or stunts rigging is dynamic. So you're not just setting a lighting rig and forgetting about it and it's going to stay there. You're putting a person on the line, and you have to figure out how they're going to get from point A to B, what that flight looks like, what the impact's going to be, and it's always challenging. It's always a different office, so to speak. Um, and it's, yeah, I love it.
So much behind the scenes going on that people have no idea about. Do you take acting classes too to help with that or anything like that? Or
I try to avoid talking on camera, and so far, I haven't. I haven't been asked too much. I did early on, but I also it was one of those. I think I'm going to play to my strength and being on camera. I mean, there was a while where I was asked to send in auditions for things, and so I would go in for some coaching. I had a good friend at Drama Inc., who's they're in town acting service here in Atlanta, and they were very helpful. They were very helpful with giving me some pointers here and there. But I also kind of felt like, okay, my strength is more on the rigging side of things. You know, performance, yes, but not speaking performance. So it's not something that I really pursued. But there are some certainly like some skilled folks who can do both. But it's I'm not a double threat in that way.
gotta stick to what you do best, right?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.